what's going on in the markets? Well, 18,377. So we continue to languish or remain rather flattish in today's trading session. The broader markets as well looking absolutely muted. It's media, PSU banks, pharmaceuticals, and the Nifty Bank Index as well that's down in trade. Metals is more than making up, and IT as well as autos as a basket are holding out quite comfortably in today's trading session. While names like Dr. Reddy's, ITC, SBI, ONGC, which will come out with its numbers later today, and even HDFC Bank that the market was hinging its hopes on are looking rather muted in trade. Hindalco, Apollo Hospitals and Tata Motors are active, along with M&M, which is up about 1%. Speaking of M&M, let's connect with Dr. Anish Shah, who's the Managing Director and CEO, here to talk about their numbers. Good to have you on board. To begin with, in the auto segment, margins have remained stable. Was the high-cost inventory the reason that weighed on margins? And going forward, how do you expect margins to pan out?
So if we look at our margin story, we've really gone from 3.7% to 6.1% in auto. We had talked about a 300 basis point improvement in the medium term a year ago when it was 3.7. We've achieved 240 basis points already. We had expected that to take a little longer, but we achieved it faster. And as we think about sequential as well, we've seen some improvement there. And we do feel there will be continued improvements going forward. So today, we've achieved improvements on a number of fronts. One is because of operating leverage. Second is because of cost cuts. Third is as our newer models start playing out, we increase prices as we go forward as well, and therefore the margin increase on the models. So all those factors are playing out. So we are on a fairly strong trajectory of a margin improvement, and that will continue.
Now, you mentioned that out of the 300 basis point margin expansion, close to 240 basis points has been achieved. So going forward, do you think that that would indicate that margins will be a little bit range-bound, or do you have any target in mind?
We will achieve the balance 60 and then give a new target after that.
Good morning. So the big question that the street will want to know is, when will that delta, that balance 60 basis points, when is that going to be achieved when we talk about your margins?
We haven't given a time frame on that as yet, but we've said 300 basis points in the medium term. We've achieved 240 faster than we planned right now.
Okay, so that's the word that's, of course, coming in as far as margins. The street's waiting for that 300 pips gain. Anish, are we talking at a time today when, you started to see maybe commodity prices like iron ore go up, but there has been a big softness, even if you were to even look at crude oil. How will the customers of M&M enjoy that?
We have not passed on all the increases in commodity prices to consumers. So that is what had impacted our margins in the past. So as commodity prices come down, it really in many ways will start taking us back to where we were from a margin standpoint earlier, which is what we are seeing at this stage.
Right. So Mr. Shah, what are your medium-term capacity expansion plans for XUV 700 and Scorpio, given the kind of strong response and demand that they're seeing?
So we've got specific details on that. Overall, for SUVs, we are expanding capacity significantly. We closed last fiscal year at 29,000. We will be at 39,000 at the end of this fiscal year and 49,000 at the end of next fiscal year. And if we go back a little in time before that, we've essentially close to double capacity over this time frame. And specifically over the 2-year period, up 70%. This is a very strong addition in capacity. It goes across many models. The Thar has seen significant increase, the XUV 700, the Scorpio N, the Scorpio Classic. So we are addressing all the longer wait times that we have with this increase in capacity.
Okay, but given the premium positioning in size and features of XUV 400 compared to what the peers are offering, what would be the pricing approach?
That we shall have to wait and watch. All I can say right now is it's a fantastic vehicle. It's got features that are best in class, and we'll have to wait and watch on the pricing.
We'll wait and watch, but moving right on, now that you've given up the controlling stake in PMTC, what is going to be the investment approach?
we will not be investing any further in PMTC. That is exactly why we've done this. We feel that a partner who's come in has the capabilities and skill sets to actually drive it to be a very successful company, and which is why we've given them the controlling stake and they will drive it forward. We really like the company. We like the Peugeot brand. We do feel it has a great chance of success. And based on all our focus on capital allocation, we felt that bringing in a strong partner who can take the company forward was the right step for us. And that really has been the genesis of this deal. So we will continue to be a partner with them. We will continue to leverage the strengths that Mahindra has that can help make Peugeot motorcycles successful. But we will not invest any further in them going forward.
Okay. Now, given that SUV continues to remain high in terms of demand, what about the market share? How has it moved in the first half? And has the high waiting period now moderated for the SUVs?
So our market share has gone up significantly. Depending on the time period you see, we've gone up anywhere between 4.5% to 6.5% in market share, which is just a huge jump. From a revenue market share standpoint, we're north of 19% right now. And yes, there is a wait time. Our bookings, as you've seen from our numbers as well, have just been tremendous. We continue to get 11,000 bookings a month for the XUV 700, the Scorpio N, the Scorpio Classic, the Thar, the XUV 300 are all seeing tremendous bookings as well. And that's what's causing the wait times. As we put in more capacity, we hope to bring the wait times lower.
Would love to get your views going forward on the two big headwinds: inflation, rising interest rates. How is this going to impact tractor sales when we talk about Bharat, and of course the sale of the passenger cars?
So for the auto segment, we are selling everything we can produce. Given the wait times we have right now, we don't expect any demand slowdown to really impact that. Even as we increase capacity, given the demand for the vehicles, and that's really a testament to the quality of the vehicles that we have right now and the brand pull that consumers have, we don't expect any slowdown on the auto side at all in terms of what we can supply. There may be an overall demand slowdown, but given the waiting period, that will not impact us. On the farm side, it will depend on a number of factors. The industry has seen a number of things with regard to rural sentiment impacting it in the first half. Our view is for the full fiscal year, we would expect the farm industry to grow, or the tractor industry to grow between 5 and 6.5% for the full year.
So much that has been said in the recent past about the three-wheeler that works on CNG. What's the response been like? What are your dealers?
So our share for LCVs has also gone up very significantly. We've always had a high market share for 2 to 3.5 tons, and that actually has gone up to 60% now, which was in the range of 50% earlier. So you've seen a 10-point gain, or close to a 10-point gain in market share there. A market share for less than 2 tons also has jumped up from 16 to 24%. So we're seeing actually a very good demand for our products. We've launched a few new products in this space, and they are being received very well by consumers.
Okay, Mr. Shah, thanks so much for joining us here and taking us through the quarter that's gone by. Lots of important commentary that's come in. We're waiting, of course, for that margin expansion of 60 basis points.